What's going on, everybody? This is Joe.
And Amy.
And we are back with another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time we had started Chapter 3, where we were meeting some samurai, but not really. They're from a television program that Maya really likes. And so we were able to gather some clues at the TV studio. And let's see if we can utilize all the clues that we have gathered to win the court case, or to at least save our client from being wrongfully accused. So, October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4.
Wait, did we find any evidence that it couldn't have been him?
Yeah.
What was that?
So we have the autopsy report. We have the guide map. We have the card key for studio employees, which grants entry into Studio 1. But we have this picture that's supposed to be of Powers, but it shows the, like, pant legs dragging on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
because it's somebody
yeah.
drastically smaller than him.
I forgot about this picture.
Yeah, that I didn't, because it's literally our only piece of evidence that, like, really helps. But yeah. Okay. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court... Sorry, wow, I read that weirdly. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios.
He couldn't have. He has willpower.
It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand.
Wait, we don't get to make our opening statement before the witnesses?
A couple of things. So first of all, technically you can delay your opening statement until the beginning of your case in chief, but also they haven't really been having us have our own case in chief. All we ever do is rebut testimony from prosecution witnesses.
That's
so
not
it
right.
kind of yada yadas through. Well, because otherwise we'd have to build our own case, and because we're playing Phoenix, like, how would we do that? Based on how this game works, we're not really like, we're not calling our own witnesses.
Especially since we don't have any fucking evidence.
Yeah.
We have one photo.
Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studios, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? No. Skip it. I think I can probably remember that. So, the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please.
Okay. Usually Edgeworth is a gigantic jackass. But the number of times that his witnesses refuse to tell the court their goddamn name.
Right?
This poor man.
That's funny.
Like, what the hell?
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. As opposed to Old Bag, which is what it's been saying every other time we've seen it. Your name, please.
This poor guy.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Thank you. I totally noticed.
Wendy Old Bag, dearie. Ah, her name just is Old Bag.
Yeah.
Got it. But so just call me Grandma. Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to try. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yesy, I was. Yesy? Yes-a? It's gotta be yesy. But also, why? And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you? You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony.
Is she calling the judge dearie?
Correct. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness's account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. So I think the only part that we really have to question her on is like the last 2 sentences that she said, which is, that man, Will Powers, and I saw, he walked right by me or whatever. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Like, we have no way to prove that she wasn't there, so we just go on that.
We don't care whether she was or not.
Right. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. Again, whether she can prove that or not, irrelevant in this particular case, doesn't help us. I had some errands to run that morning. Also, seems like it could be a lie.
Yeah,
but I guess we
sketchy.
could press her on it.
Yeah.
What kind of errands? Oh, Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing,
What?
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always.
Oh, Jesus.
Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. Now is really not the time, Maya.
Well, you're not gonna get to, because he's dead.
You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. So do we press her on that? Like if she lied about having errands to run. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, again,
I don't know
I don't
either.
think there's a penalty to pressing, as we've learned, so...
Well, no, we learned that there is one.
No, again, that was a scheduled thing when we lost, but then Maya got possessed or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. Okay, so nothing there. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 o'clock p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed toward the studio.
Press.
Oh, press. Okay. Sorry, hold on. So, you saw Mr. Powers? That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again. It was him. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. Here's the picture. Let me get this straight, old bag, Ms. Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Ms. Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder? True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Ms. Witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you! Jesus Christ, lady. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. Okay, so the man in the photo testimony. Got it. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? That's not what that is. So he had sprained his ankle? Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Okay. Press her until she squeals. All right. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. So I guess just press her on everything again?
I guess.
Whippersnapper! Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. Youth today always whining about each other. Okay. God damn it. If it advances without me doing it, like, because I'm doing these voices, I can't do them quickly enough. I apologize. Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. I guess? Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt. What the Jesus.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
What prop did he break?
He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear updated in the court record. So it says the murder weapon, a break in the shaft, has been mended with duct tape. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad, so if we go back, he broke one of the props. It was a big mess. But there's no reason to present her with the evidence. We now just got it updated as to what it was, I guess. So, okay. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
After lunch.
Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this Steel Samurai costume now?
Yeah, thank you. Jesus.
Actually, well, we couldn't find it.
Yeah, I bet you couldn't.
We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it's clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor?
Object.
Yes. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. I don't know why I said Mr. there. Mr. Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Witness's account continued.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
God, I don't know what we're supposed to use to rebut her here. This is a little tough. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? As long as that's what the autopsy says, it sure does.
Okay.
Okay.
Next thing.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Again, it's not fucking Will Powers.
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking.
Yeah, except for the girl. She was already over there or something, I guess.
No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all.
or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps?
Ugh.
Wow. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to... sorry, this is Edgeworth. Sorry. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Ew.
Edgy boy? Ugh. Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all, or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Alright, so we're losing points here, I think? So what the hell am I missing? God damn it.
The key card. Okay.
No.
I guess it's generic enough where it doesn't, like, log times when it was used and stuff.
Yeah. Huh. I guess we show her this when she talks about...
Wait, the dressing room is in the employee area.
Right, but he was killed in Studio 1. So what she's saying is somebody who is trying to get to Studio 1 would have to pass by her at the main gate coming from the employee area. But if they were in Studio 2, they wouldn't. So I think we show her this to point that out to her and see if that helps us. I think. It's the only thing I can think of, because it's also not very clear.
Because she said that he went to his dressing room.
To sleep.
Powers.
Yes. But that's not here for us to rebut that
She
like
didn't
statement
say
from
to
her.
sleep.
She said to rest up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we don't have the nap anywhere that we can show to her. Like, it's
Yeah.
not written down anywhere, and it's not in her testimony, and it hasn't come up yet at all.
yeah, we
so
don't have evidence
Yeah.
for this.
so that's
What the
why
hell?
that's why I think it's the picture. 2:30 p.m. True, the only person I saw go by the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. Okay, so this is the one where we present, I think, where we present this. Damn it, the music didn't stop. That's bad. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
Huh? It does? I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really?
Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
Damn it, man. I thought that... Whoops, that didn't go so well. The fuck?
Yeah, it's got to just be the picture because
No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. There it is. That's the one. Sorry. Seriously? Again? The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright.
I must be on the wrong track, I guess. If they had, I would have seen them. No one else went there. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
So present the photo here because it's not Will Powers in the photo.
Okay. Yeah, okay. They're just making us do it again. We just did this.
Yeah, I know.
That's so stupid. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd?
She deleted the first one.
Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one but two people went to the studio that day, yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. Eh? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means two people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy? Help!
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Oh shit. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
Oh, I see. Your testimony, please.
Jesus Christ.
So annoying.
Oh my god. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say that this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. The other person. So she said fucking nothing. We just have to, like, press her as to, like, what the other photo was of.
Yeah,
because
right.
apparently Edgeworth and the judge don't want to ask her. They're just going to make us do it for them. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer, and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Okay, so how about you fucking expand on that a little? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Humph, a fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. I mean, it's one of those newfangled computer things, lady. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area.
Oh, God.
The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. The fuck? What? What?
Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day? One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in 2nd or 3rd grade?
Oh, yes, well, we see this type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy.
Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
October 18th, 11:08 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Oh, God. Mr. Powers?
Yes?
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
Okay, so we have to pick somebody to pin this on. So it's either going to be the assistant, the security lady, or a second or third grader.
It's the assistant.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
Yeah, you can't pick the kid because he can't wield the spear. It's probably not the security lady. So it's gotta be the assistant. Because she was unaccounted for.
Yeah.
And she's probably significantly shorter than Mr. Powers.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder?
It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai.
So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant?
That's correct, Your Honor. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo? Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh. Uh-oh. Bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury? Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. Shit. That's true, she didn't.
know about the ankle.
She didn't.
Fuck.
So she wouldn't have known to fake the limp.
Yeah. But it was... but the photo clearly shows somebody shorter in the costume. Not a limp.
No, it's not a limp, it's dragging the leg. I guess, is what they're showing. Like, that one leg that was back like that.
It wasn't one leg. It was two pant legs that are too long.
Two pant legs were too long, but the one leg was stretched, whereas the other one was bent.
It didn't look that way to me, but I mean, the game's gonna have you say whatever the game's gonna have you say.
Yeah. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that what? Sure, that sentence makes sense. Well, moving on. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai oh, okay. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume, but she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped. Ugh. That kind of takes the legs out from under the case.
Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you, as I warned.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
May we move on, Mr. Wright?
This fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please.
Very well. Go ahead. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder?
The security lady. It had to be her. It can't be the grade school kid.
It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai's dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they'd been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper?
She had to delete the photo because she wasn't at the guard station.
No, she didn't delete the photo. She was in the costume.
No, I mean the
photo
number
photo.
1. She wasn't at the guard station.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Or the second.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
she loves Hammer. Why would she kill him?
She... Maybe because he shirked her advances?
Oh, maybe.
You know, scorned lover and all that? That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? Press further or give Granny a break?
Press further.
The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers the suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper? I have proof.
We do?
Yeah, we do, actually. This time I know we do.
Oh.
It's the key card. Kid can't get into Studio 1 and kill Hammer without a key card to get into Studio 1. But proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder?
We sure do. Take that! The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a key card to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a key card?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
Meh. The Windbag speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Ms. Windy... What was her name?
Windy?
Something Oldbag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution... Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Her name is Wendy Oldbag.
Wait a second. I'm not gonna just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom?
Huh? You mean
The
it wasn't
detective?
Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Jesus Christ. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Jesus. We have to press her on the very obvious follow-up question that goddamn anyone could have asked. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director?
Right?
Of course!
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were these people? Studio 2. Studio 2. The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Nice.
It's the only one that doesn't pass by the goddamn camera.
Yeah.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Sorry, the path where the monkey's head was fallen over. And it knocked over the tree.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but continue or take a break?
Oh, we have to continue, right?
I mean, not necessarily. I think she only has like one more line, and we could like press her on it, but we're not going to have any evidence to... Because we're not rebutting her testimony. She's telling the truth about now that there were other people there. We're just going to have to either interview those other people later or
Okay,
like,
so
you know...
take a break.
Okay. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and, some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it's impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Ms. Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings of the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned.
October 18th, 1:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Yes, you were.
Aw, really? It's nothing. Grin. Or should I... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, Have we figured out just who was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation.
Yeah, but Maya knows what it's like to be accused of something you didn't do.
Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Oh, he's so cute.
To be continued. And we all know what that means. When you see to be continued or the end of a chapter, it's also the end of an episode. My goodness. This was a good one.
Yeah.
There were some tough points where we had no idea what the hell we were doing.
This was harder than the first one for sure.
Rough. Really, really rough. But hey, we did it.
Because we had a lot more evidence for the first one. This one was... We had virtually nothing.
Exactly. But hey, we did it.
But I guess that probably should have made us realize that we would have to take a break and find out more information before we ended up doing the actual trial.
I guess.
Like, we should have known that this is how it was going to end up.
Yeah. Because especially because we talked about the fact that we excuse me, we felt like we didn't have sufficient evidence in the first place. So yeah, good point. Yeah, so that is the end of this particular episode, folks. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please don't forget, by the way, to subscribe and ring that bell. Super important, super helpful to both us and you, so that you will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, including the continuation of this series next week and any of our other series on this channel. You can also check out our other channels linked down in the description box below. We really hope that you are enjoying everything that we're doing here on this Geek for All family of channels. And here on this family of channels, I have been Joe.
And I'm Amy.
And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.